Hey homeschool friends, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to a plan with me video. You guys, I haven't done a plan with me in ages. I think it's been like a year and a half. So I'm going to be taking you along as I plan for this upcoming week and show you resources, show you kind of my thought patterns and how I do things. And I think it'll be fun, and I always like watching how people plan. I like watching what they write down. I like seeing them think through kind of how much is too much or switching things around in their week to make it work for dentist appointments or whatnot. So that is the plan for this video. So grab yourself a fun drink or a snack and let's do some planning. So hi, my name is Angie. Welcome to the channel. Welcome back. Welcome to a plan with me. So I typically do not plan out more than 1 week in advance. I've tried it. It doesn't work. Mostly because things come up. The week actually never goes as I plan it out. I definitely use the erasable pens, and that really helps out because nothing ever goes to plan, right? And that's fine, and I'm totally fine with that. That's why I keep things to just planning for 1 week. So some basic info before we kind of dive in, because it'll make more sense as to what I'm doing. So my kids, I have 4 kids. They're all pretty close in age. My oldest is 10, almost 11. My daughter is 9, and then my twins are 7. But what I do in my planner is I color code them. And I have found that at these ages, because my oldest are in 4th and 5th grade, I've tried to get them their own little schedule, or maybe even use a notebook and do like a notebook assignment thing. But really what happens is I end up rewriting everything that's in my planner. And so my philosophy, or what's really worked lately, is I have my planner open and I have it out on the like kitchen island, because I use my kitchen island as like my hub for homeschooling, because my homeschooling room is right off the kitchen, but also the dining room is the other way and the living room is real close. So everybody's working in all those different areas, but the central part of that is the kitchen. And so that's where I prep all my like books and like manipulatives for like my first graders, but I also keep my planner there and I keep it color coded. So that means my big kids who have more independent work just walk over to my planner and they look for the blue writing or the pink writing on the day we're working on, and they know what they need to do from there. And it works really well. And so I'm not going to change it until they maybe start working in their rooms or just get a little bit older, because this way I don't have to write it over and over, and it's just easier for them to check my planner than to have their own planner. Also, the planner that I'm using, and I have used for maybe 3 years maybe, is the Sonlight planner. I mean, I am a Sonlight girly. I love the Sonlight curriculum. We use it for a lot of things in our homeschool, and the planner is just really perfectly set up for that. And you'll see how I kind of work with both my instructor's guide as well as this planner sheet. I don't copy everything from the instructor guide to the planner. You'll see, and I'll probably explain it as we go. And I do have a full review video on it, and I haven't changed my opinion. So go see that if you want to know kind of a little bit more about it. So let's just get into it. I have a lot going on next week, so I'm just going to flip this camera around and we'll plan for all of that, hopefully. All right, hey everybody, so I have brought you over to my desk and I'm just gonna start filling in my planner. I had to get myself some coffee because that's appropriate, but otherwise, let's just get started. The first thing I always do is I just label the sides of my planner. This is a bit difficult when I have a camera going, but. And then these are mom sections. That's just the best way so they know. So 113. Okay, and then I always label the week we are in our Sonlight program, which we're pretty consistent across language arts, science, and HBL. We're in week 18, which is pretty good. And then this is my oldest son's birthday. So it's also our traveling homeschool cleaning lady day, which I really should do kind of a special video vlog for that, because we tend to go out of the house and there's lots of prep. Let me know if you guys would be interested in that. All right, so like I said, I have colors for each of my kiddos, but when it's like family stuff, I just use the black. So I'm just gonna start with the black, and I'm gonna start with family stuff. So here's our week 18 HBL page. And the first thing we have here is Bible and it's starting us with Acts 5, but I do know that we're kind of back a little bit in Acts because we took a bit of a break from this section over kind of November and December. And so when I started back up last week, I needed to start from like the beginning of Acts to give them good reference. And so we're back on Acts 4, 5. So what I might try to do is over the course of this week, make up a little bit of that time. So maybe I will just try and make up one day every week. And then we also have memory work. And this is for all of my kids. I only do one Bible program. And now for history, for week 18, it looks like, oh, we have all 3 resources. So I brought them over. I like to look through my resources when I'm doing my planning. Because I'm also trying to figure out where I'm going to put poetry. So we also have some lap book stuff, which we're a little bit behind on our lap books, so I might have them do this maybe Tuesday afternoon. We have our Johnny Tremaine, which is our read aloud, which I'm totally fine. We'll just keep going on that. So we'll put Johnny Tremaine. So we'll just keep following that schedule. And then science. Okay. So, day 70, day 71, and then this will be experiment number 18. So you can see here, I just write the days. I do not bother to write like American History, a Visual Encyclopedia, pages 50 to 51. I could do that, but since my planner includes all of my instructions, I just take this with me. And the reason I want to do that is because I also really like having the discussion questions. For instance, I will go to the next page, we'll talk about the discussion questions, we'll look at any timelines or anything like that, and it is all right here for me, so I don't feel the need to write the specifics down. I just write the day down so that I know about where I'm at. And so you can see I did all of HBL-D and Science D, but I still have my twins. And so for their history, we are following this. We have one day of George versus George left, and then it looks like heroes and happenings. These are notoriously longer. So I wrote that down in their color, but you can also make note of the fact that this is actually week 14. Since I'm doing this at half speed, it appears that I'm a little bit ahead, but I'm half speed in the sense of topics, is the fact that I am scheduling their stuff based on what HBL-D is teaching, and we are very much in the tail end of the Revolutionary War, so this is perfect. But once it does kind of start to get ahead of HBL-D, this is the program I will pause. And so I just wanted to make note of that because I'm kind of, it looks a little confusing, but it really isn't. And I also have a different one that I use for our read alouds for my twins. And so this is what we tend to read right before I do their phonics, because I just run out of time if I'm trying to read, say, like Johnny Tremaine, which I don't think I brought over. The Johnny Tremaine chapters are really long, as opposed to the Penny. Here's the Penny chapters, and it looks like it's just scheduled based on chapter. So I'm just going to put in Penny chapter 2, and then we'll do. Okay, so that gets their history, no Bible, literature, but they do have Science A. So let me go back to week 18 in their level, which I'm actually using the science straight through. I'm not doing a half program because I'm not trying to sync it up with anything. So they're fine to just do the next thing. And we actually just finished a book, so now we're going to be getting out this one, which I don't think this is sold anymore with the program, but I really do like it. It's talking about what makes you ill, and we've been talking a lot about health and nutrition with my little boys, and so this will be perfect. And so it looks like we're doing a couple of pages of that, and then the Usborne Encyclopedia, we're kind of in a technology section. So I'm just going to write down day 86. So that pretty much sets us up for our week in our together subject. In our content-based subjects, our Bible, history, science, read aloud is all kind of mapped out with our experiment planned for Thursday. And what I will do is, as I'm looking at this, I will try to make room down here for the fact that we have an experiment in the afternoon. Like, we can't have a really long day on an experiment day or we won't do the experiment. This also tends to be the big hits day for writing. So let me come back to that. But all of that is scheduled. Now on his birthday, I'm taking the kids to my in-laws for something special. But I'm going to X out all of this as kind of a birthday gift to my oldest, who would much rather listen and talk about history and science than do math. So I'm just going to give him a break on that, and I will plan out the rest of our week here. So first things first, I want to start with my first graders, my boys. So it looks like we left off on lesson 32 doing a review. So I think I'm going to see if I can not speed them up, but I think I'll do that. And if I need a little wiggle room on Wednesday, I can use that. Day 33, day 34, and day 35, plus their reader. That's it. As for their math, they're just doing a lesson. They're really good at that, so they're on to lesson 36. So that's my twins. Next is my fifth grader, or my oldest. And so I'm going to look at his stuff next. So we left off on lesson 56. So actually that'll be really straightforward. And then what I also make note for, and this actually has really helped me, is I make a box, a check box for them fixing their math. So I always grade their math, same time. I grade it right after it's done, and typically after lunch they fix it. So I need all their fixes. Then I also always write down warm up and facts because we use Saxon, and I like to have them do this at different times. Like this child of mine likes to wake up early and do his warm up and his facts. Really, it's just too much math all at once. So that's a separate checkbox because it's done at a different time. So that's math for him. And now we get into all his independent stuff. And so science. With science, he kind of goes back and forth on whether he reads it or I read it. But irregardless, he goes off and does the questions himself, and then I circle back and we talk about anything he didn't quite understand. And so what I do here is I go to our assignment, which is pages 76 to 81. Okay. And questions 1 to 6. Now I'm writing this here because he checks my planner. Like I think I was talking about in the intro clip. I have my kids walk over to this planner and he checks all the blue stuff. So let me do. I forgot that we're actually reading the science up here, so he still needs to do the questions here, which will be just fine. All right, the other things we have for him is typing, and so I put typing at the beginning of the week. And he's not doing handwriting anymore, but he is doing his reader. He subbed out from this book to this book, which I think I was talking about in the last video when I was doing kind of an update video. So this is where he is at. My daughter's continuing with Om Costo according to our instructions, which she will be on chapter 7. Or actually she might be ahead, but irregardless. I'm just going to put Ollie Cross for him and reader because he always does his reader. Now he won't have science here because it's just an experiment day, and he won't have typing. And there's a reason that I go lighter on Fridays. Like I was saying, it's because of this right here, which is his writing assignment. So I'm going to do Wordly Wise twice. We're going to do grammar here, which is this grammar ace, and then Wordly Wise just twice. So he'll only have reader and Wordly Wise plus his assignment, his language arts assignment, which let me go to that. So I also have all of those here. This is why I just love Sonlight. It's all planned out. And so here's level D, week 18, dictation and mechanics. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to skip that, or I'm going to add those two together. So what I'm going to do is day 69, day 69, day 71, and day 72. So this is the big writing assignment right here. And so then I'm also going to do all about spelling on these 2 days, but not on this day. So you can see on his day here, he has just math reader, worthy-wise, and his major writing assignment, which will probably start with that, so he can take as much time as he needs and he can be really fresh for that. So that's my plan for him for the week. And I don't think I have forgotten anything. Yeah. And then let me do my daughter, because she's pretty similar, but she does have drill team with her math facts. So she's on lesson 51. That'll be nice too. So nothing too crazy next week. So then for her independent work is the good and the beautiful. For her, I know we're coming up on like a section review. I think I will stretch out this on the first day, and then if she misses anything, we'll do it on the next day. So let's do the good and the beautiful. We'll do lesson 67, lesson 68, and then she'll start out with unit 5. So on Thursday. So that's my daughter down here, and so she can come and check what she needs to do this day as well. And really the last thing I need to do is look through my science experiment books. So that's what I have. I'm going to flip the camera back around and end this video. Okay guys, we're all done. We're all done. It took a while. It always kind of does, but it's not terrible though. I feel like when I get a system, I just kind of go on to the next thing and the next thing. But there is all those things I do need to check. And I hope it all made sense to you, and I hope you were able to see kind of my train of thought and why I set it up that way. And maybe that'll give you some like little nuggets that you could take into your own planning. But I also would love to hear from you. I often hear ideas from you guys in the comments or other YouTubers as to what they're doing. I'm like, that's brilliant, and I'll start using it. So please give me all your ideas, all your advice in the comments about how you plan and maybe how you organize your planner and all the things that need to be done for the week. So let me know down below. But if you don't necessarily have anything to say, let's do a little pen, pencil, or a little checklist. I can't remember exactly which emojis you can use, but something like that. Something very planner inspired. If you just want to let me know you're here, but you don't necessarily have anything to say. So you guys, that's all I have. I hope this was helpful, entertaining, all of the above. But if you liked it, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you want to, and I will see you in the next homeschool video. All right, take care. Bye.